Hey everybody, welcome to News by Muse. I'm Mike Sandoval, and I'm here with Erik Rivera talking about, well, his directorial debut for an HBO Max special for Jesus
Jesus
Sepulveda,
Sepulveda.
Mr. Tough Life. Okay, how nerve-wracking is it since it's your directorial debut, especially for a
It,
comedy special?
you know what? There's a lot of layers to it. So, like, yeah, first off, very nervous. First
Mhm,
time I'm doing this.
mhm,
It's not my special, so I'm nervous. Like, I'm gonna mess up this person's vision.
mhm.
But there is some comfort to like I'm a stand-up comic. I know what I'm looking for. I know how to bring out the best in somebody. There's also the pressure of I'm one of those people that I believe for the community, for the culture, we have to uplift one another. So there's a place where I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm going to direct somebody and help them
Mhm.
succeed and do well. So Jesus has to trust me to carry out this vision, to see a vision, and to help him put him in the best light. So yeah, a lot of nerves.
When you're taking the directorial chair and you're doing this, do you look
Uh,
at specials you've done before and what worked, and then you look at other people's and see what worked and try and combine them? Are you really trying to give Jesus his a spotlight that really and even though you have people around it, you're not really dealing with scenes or sets or anything like that, but you're trying
right.
to show his best light. How does the process work for you when you're looking into that?
Well, first and foremost, like I went to a bunch of shows with Jesus, trying to see what the story was that he was trying to tell. As a comedian, like, yeah, we're up there, making people laugh and telling jokes, but there is a story. Like,
Yeah.
you watch, some of my specials. I'm telling you a story, like the one I have on HBO, which what opened the doors for me to do this was Super White, where I talk about having children, being in a mixed marriage with someone who is Caucasian, and all the difficulties we face within my family alone, not even like outside in the world. So you look at that and you try to find that story. So for Jesus, like going around with him and he's telling stories about his dad and growing up a certain way. Again, I want him to tell the best story, and then
Mhm.
also watching his movements that starts telling me like, oh, we want to close up here, we want to pull back here because he moves a lot, we want to do this, we want to do that. At the same time, I'm also watching stand-up comedy specials to see what the trend is, and as far as angles and lenses and stuff. So it was fun to be on that side of the chair. Also, less pressure of I don't have to perform. If it doesn't go well on stage, it's not on me.
Yeah. Mhm. And also you could say, "You know what? This cut didn't work too well. Let's take a couple shows and put them
Right.
together." So it makes it a lot
Exactly.
where you're on stage and you're just like, "Well, I bombed that one. Well, let's try tomorrow
Exactly.
night."
I
So,
also got to learn, because I think as a comic, we always hear like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll fix that in post. We'll fix that in editing." I got to learn what the power of editing can do. I was like, "Oh, okay."
exactly. Too bad he can't do it live, but
Heck, buddy, Mike, I'd be editing a lot of the arguments I have with my wife. I'd be like, let's cut that out. Did I
yeah.
say that? No, take that out. Take that out.
I don't think I would wanna be in trouble tonight. Let me
Exactly.
cut that out really quick. It'll be safer for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, but let's talk about your comedy. You did have this comedy special, Super White, on HBO Max, I believe, or HBO, because
Yep.
HBO has some of the best comedy, and HBO Max has had some of the best Latino comedy
Yes.
that's on television right now, which is great. What has it been like over the years, especially since you started and now where you're at now, and these changes that we're seeing? That I mean, a lot more Latino comics are getting this TV opportunity now.
Right. Yeah, you know what? I will say, and not to toot HBO's horn because they gave me the special, but they have been consistent when it comes to putting our voices on television. Like I remember the first specials I ever watched, George Lopez and or even like John Leguizamo was a big influence in my life. They were all on HBO.
Yeah.
Like his one man shows, Mambo Mouth, Spicorama,
Mhm.
Freak, all HBO. Like that was the one time like my family and I could sit around and watch somebody of our culture, of our skin color, talking and telling these stories that we could relate to. So, a couple years back, they started the Enter the No series.
Mhm.
Again, they're one of the few platforms that is doing it. Like, not to call the other ones out, but like there is a lack of representation when it comes on the stand-up scene.
Yeah.
And HBO is planting the flag down. They started the Enter the No series, then they started doing the half-hour specials. Guys like myself, Orlando Leyba, Ida Rodriguez. She just did her first full hour special on HBO. So they are really, elevating us and putting that spotlight on us.
Mhm. And that's what's great is that it exposes people to new comedians who may not be able, especially after the pandemic, not be able to go
Yeah.
out yet or don't feel comfortable yet of going out to their local comedy club and checking out somebody out, especially these new comedians that are coming up in
Right.
the scene. One thing I want to touch about is your mentoring. You did mentor Jesus, and you do mentor a lot of comedians. Talk a little bit about that, about nurturing the next wave of Latino comedians.
So I moved out to LA about 12 years ago. And going around, just talking to like different networks and studio execs, like I noticed that there was a lack of knowledge on who's out there. HBO just recently started doing the Anthony series in the half hours,
Yeah.
so people are starting to catch wind of it. But when I was out here, no one, they knew the big names. They knew George Lopez, they knew Fluffy Iglesias, and then that was it. Like there was a void of like who else is there out there.
Mhm.
So, when that started happening with HBO, I started producing Brownish Live, which is it was the only Latino stand up showcase in Los Angeles at the time, at a major club. Like, and in Los Angeles, it's 50% of the population. Like, how do you not have more Latino comics on stage? So I created Brownish Live, and it was a way to, just cultivate new talent, up and coming talent, cultivate talent like myself that we've been around for a while, and people just don't know who we are.
Mhm.
Giving that platform to comedians. So it's been amazing to see. Like with Brownish Live, I have gotten comedians to have meetings with managers and agents and gotten representation. I've had comedians been reached out to by production companies and in hopes to develop projects for them. So it's been awesome. Like I don't buy into the we're all competing for one spot. I believe there's a lot out there where we can all win. If Jesus gets a show on NBC, that's opening doors for other people at other networks. That'll open doors for myself. That'll open up doors for Ida Rodriguez. That'll open up doors for Orlando Leyva. That'll open up doors for Nick Guerra. Like all these comics who are out there working.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that because it does open doors and it helps other people. If somebody gets a directorial job, an executive producer is able to take in and become a Latino executive producer and really open
Right.
up doors for other people and vice versa. I think that's what's needed right now, especially at
Exactly.
other networks. Uh, what do you have coming up? What else can you talk about that you have working on?
Well, I'm always look. I got two kids, so I'm always working. I got bills, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike, these bills pile up. Brownish Live. We do that monthly.
Mhm.
Right now we're in Los Angeles, San Diego, Long Beach, and New York. Brownish Live got accepted to the New York Comedy Festival, one of the biggest festivals in the world, in November. So if you're in the New York area, come on out. Tickets are on sale. We want to sell it out. We want to make noise at the festival. Let them know that we're here to stay. I'm shooting a short film in the next couple weeks down in Arizona, which once I have a release date. Listen, just follow me on social media. Erik Rivera Comedy, Erik Rivera. If you can't spell that, it's 2022. If you can't spell Rivera, I can't help you. All right. If you can't
Exactly.
find me, something's wrong.
Exactly. And Mr. Tough Life is on HBO Max now. You can see it
Yes.
today. I want to go check out the comedy special. That's all I'm gonna say, and
Yes,
I'm gonna make
go
my.
watch it. Go stream it. Listen, even if you don't have time, put it on in the background while you clean. Let's start getting the views. Everybody keeps talking about this algorithm. Let's get things going, guys.
And the best thing about comedy specials, you don't need to watch it. You can listen to your car while you're in the drive home. Have a
Exactly.
good, nice drive in traffic and be able to chuckle and laugh while you're
There
honking
you
your
go.
horn.
Listen, everything is crazy right now in the world. You need comedy. Go watch Mr. Tough Life. All right.
Exactly. Exactly. Eric, thank you so much for being a part of News by Muse. We'll love to have you come into the studio and do some stuff with us in the future on the Muse TV network. So thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
No problem.